Good morning, student. I am Purnima and I am going to revise a new lesson with you if I were you. In fact, it's not a lesson, it is a drama, and it is written by Douglas James, as you can see. Okay, Douglas James, he was a very famous dramatist, and a nice message is hidden here. But before explaining this lesson, before telling you about the background of this lesson, let me tell you the three important characteristics of a drama. There are 3 to 4 important characteristics of a drama which I think you should know. So, what is the first characteristic of a drama? First of all, a drama always is in the form of a dialogue writing. So, you can note it down, students. So whenever children you will read the drama, the whole drama is written in the form of a dialogue writing. It is written in the conversational mode. That means the character must be conversation, they must be doing dialogue, the name of the character will be written and the characters will be doing conversation. Then children, the second one is it has a character. That means how many people are there in the drama. All the drama, it all have a character. So this is the characteristic of a. So what is the second characteristic of a drama? It has a character. What is the meaning of character? Here character means a person who are present in the drama. Then children, it has scene or acts. That means children, a drama has a scene and acts, and then it has prompts. Okay, so these are the 4 important characteristics in a drama. Okay, first of all, it is in the form of a dialogue writing. Second thing, children, it is in the form of a characters. The drama has characters. That means number of the people who are acting in a drama, they are known as characters. And third is scenes or acts, and fourth is prompts. So children, this is a characteristic of a drama. So if I were you is a drama, it is in the form of a drama. Okay, this drama we are studying today. Now, next thing children, I am going to tell you that what is the theme of this drama. All the drama has certain theme. Okay, this drama is also having a theme. And what is the theme here? According to the writer, one needs to act in an intelligent way at the time of crisis. So according to the writer, one needs to act in an intelligent way at the time of crisis. One needs to be bold. Children, whenever a problem, we face any problem, we have to face in a very bold manner. The presence of mind is always essential at the time of crisis. Whenever we are in trouble, we should, children, not lose our presence of mind. We should always, children, think properly that what to do. Otherwise, we will become loser in our life. In this play, Zerold is the main character. In this play, who is the main character? There are 2 main characters here. One is Zerold. Okay, he is the main character here, and the other is Intruder. Okay, so these 2 are the main character here. One is Zerold and the other is Intruder. So during the talks, children, Intruder, he's here, he come deliberately in the house of Zerold, and Zerold, children, during the talks he learned the intention of the intruder. While talking in a very cool way, he did not show that he is feeling nervous or he is being scared or afraid. In a very cool way, he talks to the intruder, and very smartly, children, he come to know about the intention of Zerold. Zerold smartly concords a story to outwit the intruder. So he concords means he frames a story, okay, to outwit the intruder. The sense of the humor often uh, to help us as shown in the plays. Zerod outsmart the intruder to trap in his own net. So children, what he do? He Zerod outsmart the intruder to trap him in his own net. So children, this is the theme of the story. Okay, now I will be telling you about the summary. And after I will be telling you the important children points of the story, the important background of the story, and then we are going to read the story. Now, children, intruder one in the house of Zerald. Intruder entered Zerald's cottage. A cottage is there, the furnitures are very simple there, okay. And children, the Zerald is shown, he is making a phone call. There are two doors in the room, the furnitures are very simple. There is one table, two chairs and one divan, and children, Gerald is standing by the table to make a phone call, and suddenly children, the cottage is very small, but suddenly a person entered in his house, and he deliberately enters in the house of Zerold. Zerold is a playwright. That means he used to write play. He lived alone in a small cottage. And children, he was living alone. Nobody else was living with him in a small cottage. One day, an intruder entered his cottage. Intruder means the person who enters deliberately. So, an intruder is there who had entered in his cottage. The intruder had a pistol and he wanted to kill Zarod. So what he wanted to do, he had a pistol in his hand and he wanted to kill Zarod. He heard few things about him. The intruder was a murderer and he had killed one policeman too. So children, he was a murderer and he had killed one policeman too. The police was chasing him and he wanted to adopt Zerold's identity to outsmart the police and live peacefully thereafter. The police was chasing him and he wanted to adopt Zerold's identity to outsmart the police and live peacefully thereafter. The scene inside the cottage. When the intruder broke into the cottage of Zerold, he was preparing to go out. When the intruder broke into the cottage of Zerold, he was preparing to go out. He was going for a rehearsal of his new drama. So children, when the intruder broke into the cottage of Zerold, he was preparing to go out. He was going for rehearsal of his new drama. Now children, he had to go out for his new drama and intruder broke into the house. When he was going for rehearsal of his new drama. He was preparing his bed on which he kept the props for the rehearsal. Now children, all the props were kept for the rehearsal. The intruder had a revolver in his hand. So when the intruder entered the house, he had a revolver in his hand. The intruder told Zerold that he was a jewel robber. Now children, when Gerald had not seen the intruder, so when he had seen, when Gerald saw him, okay, the intruder told Gerald that he was a jewel robber. He told that he is a jewel robber. He disclosed that his intention was to kill Gerald and impersonate him. So children, he disclosed that his intention was to kill Gerald and impersonate him. He wanted to adopt Gerald's identity to avoid the police. Now children, the police was after Zerold, and in that when Zerol asked intruder that why he is doing, why he want to kill him, so he told that his face, the face of Zerol resembles the face of the intruder, and police is after the intruder. So when he will kill him, he will take his place. He can trick the police. He can tell lie to the police that it is not the intruder, but it is Zerol, and Zerol would be killed by him. So this secret would not be known by anybody. Zerol outwits the intruder. Zerol concocted a story to outwit the intruder. That means he framed a story, he made a story to outwit the intruder. He told the intruder that he himself was a murderer. Now children, he was a very clever person. He told that he himself was a murderer and the police was against him and the police was also after him. He also told him that killing him and taking his identity would not help him. He told that if he will kill him also and if he will take his identity also, taking identity, that means if he will become Zerol, he will come into his place, the intruder, because their face resembles a lot, their height resembles a lot. So he told even if he will come and take his place, big police will be after him and they will catch him. He would be accused of murder. He said that police would hang him not with his real identity but as Zerol. So the reaction of the intruder. After hearing all these things, the intruder began to think this was the opportunity by Zerol to take control of the situation. He asked him to hurry and flew away with him in his car to any safer place. Now once again he tricked him. He told him that he had to come with him in a car and they can move to some safer place. He then opened the door, which was actually a cupboard, and children, he opened the door. He told Zerol to move first. Actually, it was Zerol thought that this door will lead them outside, but actually it was a cupboard. It was the door, wooden door of a cupboard. And when he opened the door, Zerol rapidly closed the door of the cupboard and packed up the revolver. He then called the police to arrest the intruder. He called the police to arrest the intruder. Now the main points of the story. The playwright named Zerol lives alone in a small cottage. So children, let me tell you the important points of the story. It was the playwright whose name was Zerol and he was living alone in the small cottage. Once an intruder enters in his cottage to kill him. The intruder is a criminal and he had also killed a policeman. He also had looted a bank. The intruder thinks that he resembles Zerol very much and he decides to kill Zerol and then leave himself as Zerol thereafter. Zerol smartly outwits the intruder and tells that he himself is a murderer. Zerol tells the intruder that if he kills him, police would hang him, if not as himself, then as Zerol. The intruder falls in his trap and agrees to run away with him in his car. Zerol acts smartly and opens the door, which is actually the door of a cupboard. The intruder looks into it to see what it contains. Zerol suddenly pushes him into the cupboard. He at last called the police to arrest the intruder. So children, this is the background of the story and now I will be explaining you the story in detail. Okay. So student, I am going to read the lesson now. I told you what are the characteristics of drama. It has a character. So in this drama there are two major characters are there. Who are those two characters? It is Zerol and it is intruder. Now children, the drama has a dialogue form of writing. You can see while reading, you can see children in front of the character two colon is there. That means two dots are there. Okay. And after that colon few sentences are written. So it means that that person is speaking that dialogue. So it is in the dialogue form of writing. And children, in the third important thing, you can see the scenes are there. What you can see? You can see the scenes are there. Now, Zeron lives alone in a lonely cottage. A cottage is there. Cottage is a house, a small house, and Zeron, he lives there alone. An intruder who is a criminal entered his cottage. So another character is also introduced very soon. So what about another character? He is an intruder and he entered his cottage. He intends to murder Zeron and take on his identity. Now children, he wanted to murder Zerold and he wanted to take his identity. Does he succeed? This we have to find it out. So a student, a small cottage is there. A small cottage interior. There is an entrance back right, which may be curtained, and the door to the left must be a practical door. The furniture is a simple, consisting of a small table towards the left, a chair or two, and a divan rather upstage on the right. On the table is a telephone. When the curtain rises, Zerold is standing by the table making a phone call. He is of medium height and wearing horn-rimmed glasses. He is dressed in a lawn suit and a great coat. His voice is cultured. Okay, so children, you can see so first let me tell you children, this is the it is the interior of the cottage has been described. The cottage is first of a small and a very simple cottage is there. There are two doors at the cottage in the room. Children, the furniture there is very simple. There is one table, two chairs and one divan. Gerald is standing by the side of the table to make a phone call. And children, the cottage is not very big, it's rather small. And children, he was dressed in a long suit and a great coat. So, and his voice is very cultured. He looks in a very refined voice. He is speaking in a phone. Now children, let's see what he is speaking in the phone. Okay, so what he is speaking, Gerard is telling, well, tell him to phone up directly. He is telling to phone up directly. I must know. Yes, I expect I will still be here, but you must not count on that. In about 10 minutes time, right ho. He is telling, we will tell him to phone up directly. I must know. Yes, I expect I will still be here, but you must not count on that. In about 10 minutes time, right ho. Goodbye. So children, he is telling this word and he puts down the phone and goes to the divan on the left where there is a traveling bag and start packing. While he is thus engaged, another man, similar in build to Zerold, enters from the right silently, revolvers in his hand. He is flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. He bumps accidentally against the table and at the sound, Zerold turns quickly. So children, what happened? Zerold started packing his traveling bag, maybe to the person whose phone call had come, and Zerold traveling bag was on the left of the divan. And suddenly, children, very quietly, the intruder had entered in his room. He had a revolver in one of his hand. The intruder entered from the right side silently. So that intruder, he had entered from the right side, very silently he had entered. Okay. And he is flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. As you can see in the picture, he was dressed in the overcoat and he had a children. He is having a hat. What type of hat he is having? He is having a soft hat. The hat you can see in the picture is known by the name of soft hat. He bumps accidentally against the table, and at the sound, Gerald turned quickly. And children, Gerald, he tells presently why this is a surprise, Mr. R. Now, children, how he's not shouting at him, and how nicely he's telling to him why this is surprise, Mr. Intruder. I'm glad you're pleased to see me. I don't think you will be pleased for long, but those paws ups. Paws up means put your hands up. So he is telling, I'm very much surprised that you're happy to see me, because he did not tell, he did not scold him, he did not even ask how did you enter my house and who are you. He simply asked in a very nice manner, this is a surprise, Mr. R. I'm glad you're pleased to see me. It is intruder is telling him, I don't think you will be pleased for long. Now he's telling, I'm happy that you are pleased to see me, but at the same time he's telling, but you will be not pleased for a very long time, and put your hands up. This is all very melodramatic, not very original perhaps. Now he's telling, the way you have entered my house, it all looks very melodramatic. Now children, first of all, how did the intruder bumps accidentally into the table? Describe the intruder in your own words. The intruder is flashily dressed in an overcoat and a soft hat. What did Zarol say about the intruder entry? The intruder asked Zarol that he won't think that he would be pleased to see him for long. And children, Zarol was a bit surprised that, but he had told him in a very nice manner that who are he, and intruder told that you will not be very pleased to know who am I, and put your hands up, and very soon when you will be hearing why I came here, you will be not be pleased to know that why I am here. This is all very melodramatic. Okay, so what intruder is telling? He is telling that this is all very melodramatic. Melodramatic means making things seem more exciting or serious. So you can write it, children. Zerold is telling this is all very melodramatic. He's telling, see, I'm speaking you in a very nice manner. You did not even ask me how to, you have entered in my house. And this is all very melodramatic. So what is the meaning of melodramatic? Melodramatic means making things more serious, seems to be more exciting or serious. And calm is peaceful. Then nonchalant. Nonchalant is your word, I think. Nonchalant means not careful. So trying to be calm, and tutor trying to be calm, and are Zerold. Nonchalant is your word, is I think. So he's telling you are not careful in your words, I think. Intruder, thanks a lot. You will soon stop being smart. I will make you crawl. I want to know a few things. See. So he's telling, I would make you crawl. I want to know a few things. I will make you crawl. So children, he came there, and this was the first time, children, they were meeting, and the person whose house cottage was there, it was Zerold. Okay, he seems to be peaceful, but at the same time, children, he has judged that something very fishy is going to be happen. Okay, now open to page number 140. Anything you like, I know all the answer, but before we begin, I should like to change my position. You may be comfortable, but I am not. Now, children, what did Zerold told him? Zerold, think anything you can, if you want to think about me, you can think. I know all the answers. He's telling, now I have judged, I come to know about all my answers. But before we begin, I should like to change my position. Now she's telling, whatever you wanted to treat me, you can treat me. But before treating me like that, I don't want to stand in the same position. I want to change my position. Position here means place. I should like to change my position. You may be comfortable, but I am not. So he is telling, you may be comfortable, but I am not comfortable at all. So, motion to a chair and seats himself on the divan by the back. Now, children, intruder, he sit down there and no funny business. Now, intruder is shouting at him. He is telling, I don't want any funny business from your side, and you can sit down. He motions to a chair, all right, and he moves towards the chair and sits himself on the divan by the back. Now then we will have a nice little talk about yourself. Now children, intruder told, now I wanted to know something about you. Zerol, at last a sympathetic audience, I will tell you the story of my life. So he is telling sympathetic means full of sympathy. Audience is group of people. Now he is telling, at last a sympathetic audience. You are behaving like a sympathetic audience. Children, what does the audience do? They hear. Okay, they hear. The audience are they watch and they hear. So audience are sitting at the stadium. That means they watch and they hear, they see. So he is telling, Gerald is telling to him that you are now finally you are sitting like a sympathetic audience. So the meaning of sympathetic is full of sympathy, and audience is the people who hear, who see. I will tell you the story of my life. So he is telling that you wanted to know about, he is telling that you wanted to know about my life. So now I am going to tell you about my life. How as a child I was stolen by the gypsies. So he is telling that I was stolen by the gypsies, and why at the age of 32 I find myself in my lonely Essex cottage. Okay, so he told me as a child, when I was a small child, I was stolen by the gypsies, and at the why at the age of 32 I find myself in my lonely Essex cottage. And he is telling him, and now my age is 32 and I find myself in the cottage, my own cottage. Intruder, keep it to yourself. He is telling, keep you to yourself. That means gypsy, children, let me tell you, a nomadic or free spirited person, they move from one place to another. Okay, so they are known as gypsy. So he is telling, so gypsies are those person who keep on moving from one place to another. And just answer my question, you live here alone. Now he is telling, do you live alone here? Well, do you? I'm sorry, I thought you were telling me, not asking me. Intruder, keep it to yourself and just answer my question. You live here alone? Well, do you? Now intruder is telling, you keep on telling me and I will be, keep on telling me and I will be telling you about the, I will be listening to you. These are all. I'm sorry, I thought you were telling me, not asking me. Now children, Zerol had passed a comment on him. He told me, I thought you are telling me and not asking me. A question of inflection. Your voice is unfamiliar. Inflection means, children, the pitch in the voice. So in the way you are asking me, I am thinking you are not telling me, but you are asking me. A question of inflection. The pitch of the voice. Your voice is unfamiliar. Though he is telling your voice is unfamiliar, it is unknown to me. Intruder, do you live here alone? Now intruder did not respond to him. He only asked that, do you live alone? And if I don't answer, you've got enough sense not to want to get hurt. Now he is telling, but if I don't answer this question, so he is telling, if you don't answer this question, you know what I may do to you. You may have a chances of getting hurt. I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. What do you think, Mr. So he is thinking, I think good sense is shown more in the ability to avoid pain than in the mere desire to do so. What do you think, Mr. R? Never mind my name, I likes you better, Mr. Zerol. What are your Christian's name? So he is telling, never mind my name, I like yours better, Mr. Gerald. What are your Christian name? Vincent Charles. So he is telling, whatever, never mind my name, I like your name better, he is telling Mr. Zaral. And what is your Christian name? So he is telling my Christian name is Vincent Charles. So his full name is, he told that his name is Vincent Charles. With this, children, I conclude my video here, and it's a very interesting story, and wait for my next video. And thank you and have a nice day ahead.